Hey y'all, this is Xenoxis and this is Patreon the Power Pack. So yeah, this is not going well. Which is weird because this is supposed to be the easiest difficulty and stuff that, right, on the race, and it's just... See, that's the thing, right? That's a type of rubber banding that I feel exists sometimes. There are certain races that are in the actual events and stuff that you do in the game. And usually those events that do this are usually events that have several chilies on them, like not one chili, not two chili, but generally two and above. And if there's two chilies, three chilies, four chilies, or whatever, right? Because in the campaign there are races that have way more than two or three chilies, for example. Two chilies, right? Because like one chili is supposed to be normal, two chilies is supposed to be hard, so then what is three chilies supposed to be? Okay, so rain is coming, definitely rain is coming. The worst thing is this is probably just going to be it's just going to rain for one lap and it's not even going to matter and stuff that, right? Because the rain is just going to be too light. And then that feels like absolute bullshit and stuff that, right? I mean, I could hope that they have used up their tires way more than I have and stuff that, right? And stuff, you know. Maybe I am braking way too much because I don't know where the braking zones is on this stage super well and stuff like that, right? But this definitely feels like rubber band. Like, there's no way like that, oh, he's that far ahead and stuff like that. But you see there how there's a group of three cars. That means that those three cars are connected to each other, that they are meant to be that far ahead and stuff that. But it's just like a thing, like there are certain races where as soon as they overtake you and they get past you, they will gain a massive speed boost and they will drive way faster than the cars should be able to or whatever, right? And that's why they get the ridiculous you know, differences of that. And then you might be, but I'm using manual and I'm using a steering wheel and I win on the hard difficulty super easy. But right, which right will actually just feels like, you know, like a using balance game, you know, and stuff that's. And I know that the braking is way worse when you're using auto drive. That you can brake way better normally and stuff that. So yeah, you know. Because basically the rain that would have to come would have to be heavy enough. You can see there, it's very light rain, but light rain is not gonna matter, right? They're not gonna start driving super slow because of that, you know, and stuff like that. So yeah. Am I gonna try and change the brake balance maybe? It seems like the brake balance is slightly more on the I'm using up the back tires slightly more. But we are gonna need to basically catch him immediately now, or otherwise he's gonna gain a massive distance like immediately and stuff like that, which seems like really weird. Can you see immediately when they take you over? They usually immediately go super quick. Because it's basically programmed that, oh, I'm far behind the group that's ahead of me. I need to catch up to the other group, and that's why they gain a massive speed boost. Stuff that, right? I feel like that's how it's programmed, but it feels like completely unrealistic and stuff that, you know. Of course, and I'm gonna make mistakes now. And then, he's getting triggered. And then, yeah, my voice is sore and it hurts like hell. And the fucking stupid game bastard. Oh, he said an evil word. Sony banned him now. And then it's like, yeah, I'm playing offline. You know, I can say whatever the fuck I want to. Oh, but he would be like this online. No, I wouldn't be like this online. I wouldn't even play online. And if I play online, I always mute the microphone because I don't get triggered when I play. Oh, you get triggered because Joe Biden is the smartest president ever. Oh no. You can see here, just immediately, right, again, right, sure I'm doing mistakes and stuff that, right, because I'm using up the tires and stuff that, you know. And maybe I can focus again, I don't know. because you can see it's just going to be way too late when the rain will arrive. The rain might not even arrive at all and stuff that, and likewise like then, you know. And you can see there how he can't stop to the group immediately. The other car that passed me before, not the Lopez guy, but the Fragga guy, he immediately almost gets up to the group and stuff that, right? And it's just like even if I would brake later than the opponent's car here, it just feels like they just have way more tires left, that they probably haven't used up any tires at all, hardly. Because it should be like if they're pressing their cars way more and I'm pressing my car way less when it comes to braking, right? And you know, like I should have way more tires left. Then they should have to start like driving slower in order to like save their tires or whatever, you know. Here's the thing, right? Even if it starts raining, they're not gonna need to do a pit stop at all. Stuff that, you know, probably. Now we can hope, of course, that they're going to start quote-unquote driving slower if the rain actually comes. Maybe we need to take the brake balance forward here. Stuff that, right? Maybe that will make a big difference. Maybe, I don't know. But then it's also very, very annoying that I kind of wish that you could do this. You pause, and then you could change there on the weather radar there that you can choose those things while being paused. You know. So about front. So the front on the maximum there on the brake. Okay, so set the brake maximum on the front there and stuff that, and hopefully that makes a difference. I don't know how much difference it could make though. And I know that I can perform well on this track because I've done so before. And stuff that on races that are like way harder than this race, which is weird and all stuff that. So, yeah. Okay, so this guy is not getting away as easily. That's of course because my tires are about to feel so bad because just every single time you just go slightly off. Like now he's just gonna be like several more seconds ahead. Now he's all of a sudden 3 more seconds ahead than he was previously. See, it's just gonna avoid the track, even it's not even gonna come on the track, it's just gonna be very, very close, and then you think that it's gonna be rain, but it's not. And they're 100% not gonna have to make a pit stop. What we're gonna have to hope is that they make a pit stop, and I don't need to make a pit stop, that I somehow are able to survive on these tires. And maybe it's just that you have to have less traction control, or maybe you have to have more traction control on the car, that maybe that could have done a difference. Because yeah, the power there, I didn't change that at all. And maybe they are actually running with less power here. That could be a thing that they could be doing, of course, obviously. So TCS is set on 2, brake balance is set on front there, TCS 2. This just feels like sometimes it just feels like bullshit that there are races that exist like this where, oh, every single little mistake you do, like now it's going to be impossible to catch up to him. Now you're going to have to... You can see, yeah, my fastest time is a 2:10, which is like 4 seconds slower than the fastest. I'm going to see if I can do this. Oh, wow. We could have done that from the very start. I thought that would have teleported me because I know that there are certain shortcuts on for example, on the French stage, on the Le Mans stage. There is a certain shortcut that you cannot take, for example, that just resets your car and you lose a lot of time if you do, you know. And I know that there could be an insane shortcut that maybe could work, but if I would try and take the shortcut and then if I would get teleported and stuff that, you know, then that would be really bad. Yeah, you see, there's no way that rain was gonna arrive at all, even though we saw rain on the map. But it's just bullshit, like, oh, 70% chance to rain, yeah, 70% chance, 0% chance. They're already on the final lap at this point, and I'm just all the way down here. Stuff that, you know. And I kind of wish that you could somehow check in the other drivers and just see, okay, like, or does the event log allow you to check that? If I check the event log afterwards, can I check what the other cars are using and how much tires they have left? Because I'm thinking about this corner here, that there could be a big shortcut we could take there. As you can see there's no rain at all. Because of that little thing there that makes me like boom, like everything out of catch up there, like is immediately lost. Maybe it's just that I'm braking way too much. I'm braking where I don't need to brake. You know. See, if I would have taken that shortcut from the very start, then we could actually catch up to certain things, but yeah. I don't know. And maybe that's what you're supposed to do. I don't really want to take the shortcut, because what if I get teleported and I might actually lose like 8th place or whatever, you know, and stuff like that, you know. And I don't know, are they using more traction control somehow? Did they have a specific brake balance set up, you know, and stuff like that, you know? Or is it they're using manual and they're short shifting, which is the most actually fucking bullshit thing in the game, like, if you use manual, you can, for example, you can be on like a very, very top gear. You can be on like 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever your car goes up to. And then you could basically, if you force it to go from 6, for example, off of 4 down to 1, you can immediately make it so that the car forces to brake without actual braking. And that makes it so that your braking becomes more effective. And that also means that you can be more fuel effective as well. So you can save more on your tires, you can save more on the fuel, stuff like that. So yeah, I'm gonna try and do this. Yeah, see, that didn't work. So I knew that shortcut wasn't gonna work, and now we get 9th place instead of 8th. I should just throw the controller into the television and explode the television. That is super expensive. Because this was not a television from downstairs, this was... Oh, that money, 7,000 totally not worth it at all. And they were like... What, like, what am I? Yeah, 52 seconds behind. And see here, see this jump here, 40 seconds, boom. Like, and then it's just like... And it's just like, okay. And I was the 96 too. Yeah, that's the same car as me. That's how fast my car should be able to be, but it's, you know, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, oh, this was the easiest difficulty and stuff that, and then it's just like, oh. Yeah, and there's the endurance race, of course, obviously. You can see there. But then why, for example, how could this be 9th here? And I didn't even use any of these two which are harder difficulty. I used like the one that's supposed to be like the easy. And you can see here, you might say, oh, you're not used to that car. These. Best rank 1. These. It's on a road course. 10 laps. Yeah, rank 1. And this of course with that, rank 1. For example, and sure, like this for example is with a weaker car, and that's with a weaker car as well, you know, and stuff that. But yeah, but you know, like so there's like this one, and this one, all with the same kind of GRC memories, you know, stuff that. So yeah, you know, and these two are the celebration of art, and this is our historic rallies, both of those, you know, stuff that. So yeah, you know. Anyway, credits. Boom, shakalaka, nice. And it will be a 600 one. But you feel very well like what could have done different on this? Just 18 cars. Number cost 20. Number cost 20. So how come these stages just that much easier? Like why is this? Because here's the thing, right? If you're gonna tell me that this is a harder race, yeah, but then show it with the chilies. Show it that this is 2 chilies on the first one, 3 chilies on this, and 4 chilies on this. Because actually, let me show you, because you're probably not gonna believe here. Like for example, like if you go in here, for example, what is it? I think it's here, right? Let me show you some of the difficulty here that exists in the game. No, not the 600 cap, but what is it? The extra cap, the new cap that they added. They added pretty late, the Club and Cup Plus. Yeah. So many chilies that is. That has been a 3rd place on that chili there. Yeah, that's a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 chilies is hard. Stuff that, right? And that requires you to have like 700 pp or less. Stuff that you could of course find some car that it's like super optimized, you know, and you can be at 700 pp and stuff that, right? You know. Where is the C88 there? Stuff that, right? You know, so yeah. Yeah, I sometimes forget certain other cars that I have. Yeah, because I'm not super happy with all the deliveries I have. I'm happy with some of them, of course, obviously, but yeah, you know, so many cars. But yeah, for example, that's one example, but then also if you go into like the GL3 Cup here, for example, there's one there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1st place there, 5th place on that one, 1st place on the 3 one. That's only 4. That's 9th place. But that is because on this one specifically, it needs to be a GL3 car. Only GL3 cars work. So yeah, you could use the new Ferrari of course on this stage, but yeah, but it's like on this one also, if you can see here, for example, bob tuning prohibited, high speed, gross car, pottery allowed, brake balance, you're allowed to shake, but yeah. Of course, it's a hard track as well, and you cannot take any shortcut here. Shortcut penalty is off. Huh. But I'm pretty certain that because if shortcut penalty is on, right, then you shouldn't get teleported if you try to take a massive shortcut, right? But you do get teleported. So what do they mean the shortcut penalty of? Because that's a type of penalty. But I can understand that, they mean that, if you take a shortcut, you get like the seconds penalty. Sure. But I will say that if you can get teleport on the track, then the shortcut penalty is on, because that's a penalty, because you lose a bunch of time with that. So yeah. Yeah, there's also tire restriction that you have to be thinking there. But for example, on the other stage there, that I had gotten the start thing here. On this, yeah, you have to be a gear 3 here too, right? Yeah, but this is mid speed. So I don't know. It seems weird at times, but maybe it's that you have to use a specific car in order to win this EC. But the thing is just that you cannot, like, for example, even if I would say set to this GT3 for example here, there would only be limited settings I could do. I couldn't even do this, the fully customizable here. I could like probably get fully customizable racing transmission and maybe that would work. No, but I think that the only thing that you're actually able to do is the brake thing there. Even if you get a turbo, you're limited to the performance points there and the brake horsepower and stuff that, you know. The only thing you can control is the brake balance. Stuff like that, but yeah. So it seems like really, really weird that there are like races that are way more chillies and stuff like that because if you go in here, for example, you go in on options here, you can see the difficulty here. And you can see that easy is no chillies, normal is 1 chilly, hard is 2 chillies, but then like black, you know. Yeah. Stuff like that, yes. So it seems like really weird, but I should be able to get that Ferrari now that I wanted to get before because I think that's enough for it. Let's get the Ferrari, let's get the La Ferrari, as it were. So right here. Right, because it's 1.6 million for it. And I also need to get this one, because this is the standard version of the GT3 model here. And these are the 3 Ferrari colors that I think are okay. Scuderia, Corsa, and Imola are the 3 Ferrari colors because those are the ones that are red. Yeah, so there's the GT3 for example, 1.2 million. I've already gotten the N, so there's the more expensive thing there. But yeah, let's get the La Ferrari. Okay. It only has 3 colors, so let's get the Rosso Corsa. Go from the wish list. Boom. Okay, nice. Yes. Okay, we're missing that Ferrari and we're missing just this one. And this one, of course. So we have 3 more Ferraris to get. We have this one from 3.6 million. We have this one for 500,000. And then we have this one for 450,000. And that's everything then. Did we already have the GT3 car? Huh. We had the GR4 car. We have this one. We don't have the GR3 one. I'm pretty certain that we had gotten the GR3 one. Yes, we almost have all of the related spots is good, of course, obviously, because yeah. And I believe if you go in on the related spots, you can just go in, and do the thing. But yeah, I want to check how much is it for that really cool Lambo. Okay, so 3.6 million. Okay, this one looks so cool, though, man. And that's not electric, right? Nope. So Lamborghinis, I'm missing the Veneno, I'm missing this one, the Huracan GR4. I'm missing those. Man, I never got those. What? Really? I was pretty certain that I had gotten those and stuff like that, because yeah. And I always like the yellow color just because that's the Lamborghini that I have, the model one. Well, it's a Diablo one, the same one that a certain. Yeah, there's the cafe, of course, so now we can receive a reward from the cafe. We are recording, right? Yeah. Odd piece, because that's why I wanted to get those Ferraris and stuff like that, because I knew that it was going to be a reward. Yeah, it's higher up, one of the early rewards, because these, of course, extra menus here, the Audi here, for example, the 51, these, all of them are available, by the way. on the legging cars. This was one of the new one. Alfa Romeo Legends is also a thing here as well. That's a new menu. All these for here, 48, 49, 50, and 51 are all new ones, new menus. So that's There we have the group C by the way there. I think, Ferrari Speciale, you see you did both the F40 and the F50 there and stuff that there we go. That's a 6-star roulette ticket, good. Was that a dyno? No, maybe. Yeah, including the 250 GTO. Yeah, 367 GTB4, also known as the Daytona, because it had to do with the Daytona attack, I think, if I remember correctly. Testarossa, man. DB Berlin at the Boxer, yeah, Ferrari Testarossa. Oh yeah, it had the F1 thing. It had the whole hybrid thing, so it had like the extra black boost that it's in the F1 cars. Nice. I kind of wish that after you had gotten, for example, one of these, for example, I kind of wish that if you still had certain cars, as like as add to wish list, I wish that they would remove it from the add to wish list once you had gotten like every car from one of these things, and stuff like that. Yeah. Then of course there was another Ferrari thing here. For example, I need F40 here and I need F50. And this seasonal menu here, but I've already gotten these. So yeah, so the seasonal menu, for example, you required all of these three. Hopefully this is a way to take it, because I feel like the specific these 6-star red tickets should always be weighted, so you should always be able to get a very, very good reward. That you should never get a crap reward from a 6-star ticket. I feel like So the big money there is the 1 million, by the way, if we get the 1 million. Okay, fine, I'll take an AMG. Although I already have one, I think. GT3, GT3. Do I have it in that color though? It's this one. Yeah. But you can see I'm missing way more Ferraris than that, of course, because there are bunch, there are like older and stuff like that, because there are some super expensive ones I'm missing, like this one, for example. So yeah. Some of them are cause in the car dealership right now. Like the the Alfa Romeo Giulia here. We have the Maserati here. We have the Porsche here. What is the Ford? Mark IV race car. Yeah, there's the F40 Ferrari. But yeah, man, if this one was cheaper, man. mean, I love the fucking effort because I do remember what was it? It was one of the FPS teams. Was it the Wolfenstein team or the Doom team that got those cars? Because they were like they got a lot of money like when they were still like very young, and they were like, okay, well, like what's a cool car? Like I wanted to have like a status, and I think they got the F40 or maybe it was the F50 because the F50 was just slightly later and stuff. Because yeah, you know. Anyway, let's go into the power pack again. So we didn't get that reward. Of course, we cannot get this reward yet because that needs 600. I mean, we could do this. Because so all you need to do is actually finish the races, then it doesn't matter what position to get this. So the only thing I'm missing in this here is this one to do. That's the Tokyo Expressway. I can't believe I got second place on that still. It's pretty insane because I do remember not spinning really. I mean, technically I did spin. Well, not really spin, but you know, someone managed to bump into me and like blocked the whole traffic. There was like an AI driver that managed to block the whole traffic. Because sometimes when you bump into the AI will sometimes go on the side, and then normally if you're on the side like that, then the AI will just drive into and you will just keep spinning. But if you try to drive into them, they somehow manage to block the path so that you cannot just drive straight to them. Like they will automatically just block the path. The path you won't get past them that way. You have to actually drive around them, and you will lose a lot of time from doing that. You know, stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, let's do this one then. Let's do it as this one then. Forest Raceway. Okay, so assist. Traction control 1. Yeah. Although I mean it's 4-wheel drive, so maybe you shouldn't have traction control on. But don't tell me that I didn't change it on the car. So traction control 1. ABS default. Brake. So the thing that I'm curious about is racing halls. Okay. So will it set to the thing by default? Will it set to the no, the TCS is on 1 now, okay. Because I need to change this to 50 out of 50 there on the torque, and you press down to do that, by the way, on the button. You don't press forward because the 50-50 here is when you actually using 4-wheel drive. And it's weird, like why are the 4-wheel drive cars not set to be 4-wheel drive? Right, because the torque distribution needs to be 50-50, right, in order to actually be proper 4-wheel drive. But the torque, doesn't that mean the engine? I thought the torque would be like, oh, this engine distribution and stuff like that, right? But isn't that how 4-wheel cars are, that it's like the torque is separated between all the tires? Or however the fuck it works, I forgot. So that should be 50-50, brake balance 0, TCS 1. No. How much is the clock, by the way? Okay, okay. I think it's fine. Yeah, maybe we need to turn down the volume soon, because they're soon probably going to go to bed. This is weird. Actually, I'm going to turn down the volume a bit, right? No, I only have 7 in volume. I didn't have more than that, okay? I thought I had 8 in volume for whatever reason. I'm losing a lot of time here because I think that I let go there of the brakes too early there. I'm doing a mistake. Yeah, because it's really bad if he can be ahead or if he can be like directly behind me, because then he can abuse my slipstream. Actually, let's do this. Sound volume on the race effect 6. Yeah. Okay. Do we have time? Yes, we do have, I think. Right? Yeah. I think we should have enough time to do this race, but yeah. But it's weird, right? They call this like 1,000 horsepower tuning battle, but then, for example, the Lamborghini doesn't have 1,000 horsepower. It's the other two that are harder difficult that actually have 1,000 horsepower. Okay. That's pretty bad. I definitely want to do a faster time than that. Yeah, and it's time to turn off the TCA. But sometimes that can be really bad to do sometimes. I mean, I feel on the Lambos, you shouldn't need to, you shouldn't need to have the CCS on. Okay, pretty far ahead of my time now here. And I wonder also if they're testing this power pack to introduce like B-Spec back into the game, because that would be really cool if that's what they're planning to do, Come on. Okay, I mean, that's slight improvement, but it's still not good. Maybe I'm too slow to go back on the acceleration sometimes here again. Because the thing is, I'm used to certain cars where you cannot start accelerating too early in the corners, because then you're just gonna spin or whatever, And I can always for example, on the whole, torque there and stuff, that like being able to set it to 50-50 and stuff, that like the thing is that you're with that setting, you're able to actually make it so that the car feels like a rear wheel drive or a front wheel drive car, for example, that you can change it how it feels like, Yeah, and I'm losing more time there. Because it's like really like, yeah. I need to have the texture control on, I don't know. Because sometimes it feels weird, like, why is this the first card? And maybe it's easier to win with the 1-star difficulty thing, you know? But it will feel like, it should always feel like the first car should always be like way superior over the other ones, so you could just win easily with the car. Okay, so I'm gonna have to actually control one. Yeah, and it's Skyline that's in the front. That's not surprising considering the horsepower on that. Oh, right, but there are more cars than that. There's Pagani Huira, there's a bunch of different GTRs. There's the F40 there, NSX. Yeah, so in this one, there's a bunch of cars that you cannot select here. And stuff like that, you know. I think this one has the most amount of different cars, I think. Let's say the torque distribution is set on 50-50. See, they did a thing where he tried to block again there, so I couldn't get past him there, and that was really bad, and now I lost a bunch of positions. So it can touch a little bit, but sometimes they like super react to your physics, which is weird. Like sometimes they spin even when they shouldn't spin, you know, whatever, right? You know, and it's just, you know. But the thing is, on these races, I feel like you need to be super aggressive and stuff like to even have a chance here and stuff like that, you know, because it's just, you know, because otherwise they're gonna gain their massive like distance over you. So you can see there that he's just blocking there basically because there I couldn't turn into him because he would have basically blocked my path there and stuff like that. Like it's just like super stupid. You always lose positions when they decide to do that, and it's very often that they do that. That if they try to take the inner on you and if you try to block them, then you're just going to lose positions, which isn't how these things should work. Maybe it's also that I lose time sometimes when I try to focus on these sliders and stuff like that, like all the GCS on and the other stuff, you know. But this is of course 15 laps though. Okay. Okay, maybe I can be more like saving on my tires, you know, and stuff like that, you know. Okay, good there, I was able to actually push him around. There was a bit risky there. Now the question is though, if their cars are heavier, right? I don't know if their cars are heavier, but I mean, if the cars are heavier, that usually means that they have more fuel, like they are consuming fuel way quicker than I am. And stuff that, you know. I know that the GTRs are usually pretty heavy, a lot of ETRs are actually heavy and stuff like that, right? Because if their cars are heavier than I am, then it might be that they are going to use up fuel faster, hopefully. So TCS is set on 0, brake balance is set on 0, TCS 0, brake balance 0. Okay. I don't need to worry about those. Over to him there, and yes, block him there. I wanted to try and block him there because otherwise he would have used. Yeah, this is good because I'm catching up now. Okay. On good. I'm good with the Lamborghinis because I've driven the Lamborghinis a lot of the different ones. If I just try and focus, man, we can do it. As long as I make sure that I drink quick enough so I don't get like super sore in the throat because it's hard to concentrate when my throat starts hurting a lot. I definitely feel like we should be able to catch more of the drivers, you know, at least the some placing. I need to go in aggressively here because otherwise Mont is going to take it. Yeah, we get my favorites. Okay. That's good, we're almost catching them. Actually, let's turn out to 9 here, boom. Speed game, good. Okay, come on. Good. Take the inside. Be aggressive. Good. And then it takes on the outside, of course, which is something the AI never did before, by the way. That is something that is completely new, I feel like, with this, because I don't remember them doing that before. Or them even trying to resist. If you overtook them, they were very little chance they would try and take back the position here. And you see they're going very, very aggressive here for the inner there. But that was actually a good strat. Maybe we drop here as soon as we see that sign there, or we're going over the curve there. And maybe we can go on the acceleration quicker there, maybe. That got a bit scary there. I thought that we were gonna like go over the grass there or something. But imagine if any of them have to do a pit stop and we don't. Oh, I don't think that that's going to be likely because of how they drive and stuff like that, you know. Okay, I can see some further ahead now. Yeah, I need to remember that we need to cover the corners because otherwise they're gonna try for it. But you could almost say that we're doing 16 laps because the final lap is a lap in itself and stuff that, you know, which is always a thing, you know, stuff that, you know. I need to make a bit extra there because otherwise I would have ended up a little bit on the grass there and we would have lost a lot of time there. Okay, very good. Come on, this is a pretty good time here. Oh, damn it. I was slightly too slow there. And the thing is, I'm not getting that much of a distance on the other drivers behind me, so that's why I have to be careful and stuff that, you know. Because they will immediately pounce if they see that I'm like doing just, you know. But this is what really feels annoying. It doesn't feel like I'm gonna ever be able to catch up on the like the ones that are ahead here. Yes, we can hope that they have used up more fuel than I have. No, I don't think that's going to be likely if that's right, but you know, like. Yeah, we still do the fast time there. But yeah, the fact that they have a 23 there, for example, and I have a 26 is, you know, like very, very big difference. But it's just that, for example, if we would choose that card, then we would choose a higher difficulty, which is the main problem and stuff like that, you know. But we know that the difficulty sometimes doesn't matter, right? Because normally, right, they're all like those, as I showed you, that there is an event in the like still had first start difficult and then I had a 9th place at best at, you know, which is weird. You know, and then that just seems that all the balances on certain things are very, very random and stuff like that sometimes with the difficulty level, right? I'm actually going to turn down the volume here down to 6 instead. Here we go. I know that makes it so that. And the thing is, I feel like I'm pretty reliant on the sound in this because sometimes I feel like I perform way worse with like lower volume and stuff that sometimes. Because you can like listen to the feedback that you get from like you can hear when the car kind of starts losing grip and stuff like that, right? I'm pretty certain that there were not any risk of like losing like all the fuel or whatever, right? Because you know we are like at more than half fuel left, you know, so that we randomly used up half the fuel. Right now we're actually behind here. This is actually really bad. Usually we are ahead at this point. But it feels like in the beginning there that we just lost so much and stuff that, and then it's just impossible to catch them because they get like a speed buff that I don't get. See, he tried to block there. And stuff that, right? You saw here there that he goes up on the side there and he tried to block my path there and stuff that, right? Remember, I need to drive defensively on certain of these corners because otherwise, you know. And yeah, we're gonna have to make one more recording, I think. 5 laps remaining. I mean, there's a lot of cars that will be really, really interesting if you could get, because I feel like all the cars that are in this, like all the 3 cars that you can select are like specially modified versions of the cars that are already like in the game, but these are like I feel like a lot of people would want to get these cars, stuff that, you know. I don't know, could they add more stuff to the power pack at some point? Like, if you had already purchased the power pack, then maybe you could receive those things for free, you know, and stuff like that. Because I do think that all the cars that you can choose to drive with in the power pack should be available, or you should be able to own all the cars. So that, and I know that maybe that will piss a lot of people off that, oh, they shouldn't make cars exclusive to a power pack, but I feel like if these are very specifically tuned right, then yes, you should be able to upgrade them further, but you shouldn't be able to, for example, go in and change their suspension or their, you know, traction control or their, you know, their toe angle or whatever, right? You know, because if they're specially modified to have a very, very specific thing, right, then you shouldn't be able to get the fully customizable suspension, or, you know, it should be fixed. You know, because I've talked about that. Imagine if they had professional tuning, if they had like an AI in the game that could use professionally tune a car for you, and it had a pretty expensive cost depending on the car, right? You know. But imagine if you could make it so that certain cars could become GR4 cars, even ones that aren't technically normally GR4 cars and stuff like that. Right? Imagine how cool that could be, you know, and stuff like that, you know. What, do you think you can take me from that side here? Ooh, yeah. That is trying. Vermont is trying, man. I like Vermont. He's usually the guy that I vote for when it comes to like the World Series and stuff that, you know. I usually vote for Subaru and I usually vote for Vermont if he is able to be voted for. Although I did change last time there was a vote, I voted for Solis, I think I did. Even though he hasn't been good in like a really long time, right, all things considered, but still, you know. But I like it when they show the percentage chance of how often they have won and stuff that, you know, like what their percentage chances to win, you know, and stuff that, because yeah. Because usually, you know, Spain has won the Nations Cup so many times in a row, right? You know, it's, you know, like Spain. And then it just feels like really, really bad, you know, stuff that, so, you know. Because I don't care about voting being correct with the vote. I care about, you know, like, oh, I want to support, you know, I want to support France and stuff that, you know, so that's just, you know, yeah. I see all